Count Thursday is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app. That's arenaeats.app for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order?
The World Wrestling Federation, for over 50 years, the revolutionary force in sports entertainment.
Oh, it's live, pal.
We're really glad that you're our friend, and this is a friendship that'll never, ever end.
Everybody three count. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Or maybe The Rock has got to beat Triple H himself, which means he's got to beat the game in the middle of the ring. And he has a $2 for a wife.
You're too damn selfish, and that's why you're sitting there with a bad leg, and that's why I kicked your leg out of your leg.
You guys talk about being students of the game. I am the game, JR.
3 ain't enough, now I need 5. Welcome in Jim, Ryan, Matt, Tim, and intern Mark.
Oh my goodness, what am I doing? There's a 1, there's a 2. Oh,
Wow.
Well, you can take that brass ring and shove it up your ass.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to 3 Count Thursday. We are live, facebook.com/3 Count Thursday. It is March the 4th, 2021. We are just days away from Revolution. We'll talk about that and much more. We are still the podcast of the millennium. Check out our website, 3countthursday.com. Find all of our social media links, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Check out our merchandise over at whatamaneuver.net.
What a maneuver. What's over there? What can you get at whatamaneuver.net?
Well, you can get the belt logo, which is on the shirt.
The
down
classic.
Here. You can get the 3C F&T shirt.
Still put a baby in it. Steal a baby, put it in it.
That deal's still out there.
Always there.
But also we have our
I'm a sausage guy.
line of merchandise as well. So 3 great options, probably more to come. But those are the 3 that are up there now. Again, over at What a Minute. And there you go. Right there. You can see it. What the graphic.
I'm a sausage guy.
The graphic was there. But head over to Patreon, patreon.com/3 Count Thursdays. Scotty asked if I lost a bet. No, man, I don't hate AEW. You know,
It's a sign of distress. He needs help. He needs some milk.
We all need help. But our home network, of course, NGSC Sports at ngscsports.com. We stream daily at leapsports.com. Ryan, do you know how to spell that?
LEEIBsports.com.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe to the show, of course. Rate and review if you're on Apple Podcasts. If you are with us in the live video, give it a like and a share. We'd appreciate that. Get as many people interacting with us here tonight as possible. Let's start with Ryan because he did such a bang-up job at spelling that.
How you doing?
Shane McMahon.
Hey.
All right. There we go.
I got to do it.
In the world. Shane McMahon.
I'm so happy.
Great. I'm so great.
I'm so happy for you, Ryan. Matt.
How you doing?
Doing all right. I'm ready for the weekend here. I did like to see Ryan sell that he actually enjoyed that Shane McMahon because we all know he did not enjoy a minute of that 17-minute clip. Got the lemon iced tea for now until cherry tea comes back.
Hopefully.
Do it, Turkey Hill.
We're working on that. Turkey Hill, we're putting you on blast. You'll be hearing from 3 Count Thursday very, very soon. Tim,
How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm so glad tomorrow is Friday because son of a gun, this is whew, it was a week. Full of good stuff though. If you're a wrestling fan, though,
yes,
lots of good
yes,
stuff.
I agree.
You know, I was debating calling in sick today, given the good StreamYard at, but with everything, with all the good stuff that's gone on with wrestling this week, I was like, you know what? I'd rather save my sick day for a really crappy week.
We can do that.
I'll be here.
And we even have 2 watch-alongs in the can, so if we all want to call out sick one week, we have the option.
You know, I ain't mad at it. I need to start doing that too. I need to get to that point too.
That's one thing that having a year off has awarded us. Is
I believe it's called a sabbatical at this point.
Yeah. We'll do that. Charlie says evening sausage boys.
I'm a sausage guy.
We're the sausage boys now.
So fucking funny.
Intern Mark,
How you doing?
Hi, boys. I'm doing really good. Really good. You guys remember the Pinocchio movie when Pinocchio had no strings and he was a real boy?
Sure.
Look at this. I have both hands now. I have a tripod type device. And my hands are free.
I was waiting for a bad punchline.
Oh, no. Hey, people seem to like that one about the ketchup. I put it out on social networking.
We saw.
It was those same people that voted for you in the Christmas song poll.
Yeah, you're probably right. I petitioned hard for those votes. And I still owe some favors to those people that voted for me. I didn't forget you.
Oh, my. Okay.
Go ahead and name them so we can ban them from the next poll.
Yeah, right?
But,
we'll just start.
There's several.
Okay.
Let's see. There was Dampy, and then there was Mike, and then there was Manny, and
Mo.
Suzanne, and there was Lucian, and there was Ed, and
there was another
Jim.
guy too, Jim. I think that explicitly voted for Mark. That one guy. You know who?
Oh,
Bobby.
Him. He voted for you too. Jeez,
Well, that one took a long time.
Boy, you know what happened is when I hooked the line, I didn't really get the worm all the way on it, so I lost it half cast, and I was just swinging it around.
It was out there.
It was out. It's like, come on, bite the hook.
You know, all those people voted for your draft, Mark, but BBJ voted for mine, and that's all that really matters.
Boy, that's hurtful.
Big Jim, how are you doing?
I'm hanging in there. Played some PGA online with a couple of buddies this morning, and I think it's gonna be a daily occurrence, at least during the work week. So I'm gonna have PGA seminars every weekday. So it keeps me going. It keeps me going.
And
Mark, I'm afraid to ask this, but Charlie says, "Hey, Mark, what has 8 teeth and 12 legs?"
Let me think here. What has 8 teeth and 12 legs?
8 teeth and 12 legs. This is from Charlie.
God, I hate it already.
So do
Boy,
I.
I'm not quite sure what has 8 teeth and 12 legs.
Charlie, what has 8 teeth and 12 legs? We're not sure. We're waiting so patiently.
Soon it's gonna be like a redneck
Oh,
dinner, right?
night shift at Hoss's.
Oh,
that was probably one of
wrong.
That was probably one of
He's
my
not
favorite.
wrong.
That's one of my favorite insults at an indie show. At the old indie I used to go and frequent all the time in Virginia. Charlie might remember these guys. Vanguard Championship Wrestling. They brought in David Flair. I know. Big ticket David Flair. And there was a guy in the crowd who we affectionately, as a fan group, referred to him as Shit Teeth.
Huh.
And so David Flair was getting what someone like to call the business from Shit Teeth, to which David Flair, without missing a beat, goes, "If you don't shut up, I'm going to come down there and knock your teeth down your throat. And I mean both of them." It was great.
That's good. That's good.
So, yeah. Knock your teeth.
If we're going down these similar roads, one of the classic ones, and occasionally you can still get somebody on it, is what has 9 arms and sucks ass? Def Leppard.
Oh, come on now. The drummer only has 1 arm.
And I mean, truth be told, I actually like some Def Leppard.
Except the Def Leppard drummer is a better drummer than Lars.
Oh, I mean, the dude's spectacular. It is just
that guy. Yo, we need to remove that YJ Stinger ad in the back and just have a rotating picture of Bobby.
Oh my God. That would be
we could do the 3 count. We could do the 3 count Bobby of the week. It could be like Bobby Boucher one week and Bobby Brown another week and Bobby Bowden another week.
There's tons of Bobbies out there.
I'm fully on board with that.
Yeah,
I'm all right with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. A Bob of the week.
Yeah.
Your Bobby of the week.
All right, let's
Mark, is that there's a shark picture above that X-Pac picture? That's not of Jocelyn, the friendly shark, is it?
Why do you do that?
That's his danger shark territory.
You have a tripod. Angle it up, brother.
All right, you ready for this?
No, if it's not Jocelyn, I don't need to see it. I just wasn't sure.
Isn't that a beauty?
Danger shark.
Danger shark. It's shark territory. You'll never guess where I found that.
The ocean?
It was one Tuesday at Roots Country Market.
No water there.
Sucker didn't know what he had.
Suckers.
All right, let's get into it.
I fucking hate this show so much.
March 4th in pro wrestling history. 2 birthdays today. Sarita was born in 1979. Dalton Castle in 1986. 1974, the WWF held an event at Madison Square Garden in New York City. In the main event, WWF World Heavyweight Champion Bruno Sammartino and Nikolai Volkov fought for over 53 minutes and exceeded MSG's 11 p.m. curfew. So they had a draw. Then we go to 1986. Tully Blanchard defeats Dusty Rhodes to win the NWA National Heavyweight title in Spartanburg, South Carolina. 2000. ECW held an event at the ECW Arena in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The event featured Rob Van Dam's forfeiture of the ECW World Television title after holding it for 23 months due to a broken ankle. His reign was the longest for any title in ECW history. A tournament would be held to fill the vacancy and began on this night in the year 2000. 2012, Ring of Honor celebrated their 10th anniversary with an pay-per-view from New York City's Hammerstein Ballroom. The show featured 7 matches, and the main event saw Adam Cole and Eddie Edwards defeat Team Ambition, Davey Richards, and Kyle O'Reilly. 2013, WWE holds Old School Raw from Buffalo, New York. The show featured Attitude Era music, graphics, and was bookended by building towards the WrestleMania 29 match between The Undertaker and CM Punk. Those are the events that occurred. March the 4th in pro wrestling history. So speaking, gentlemen, of pro wrestling history, this past Monday night on Monday Night Raw, we saw a new WWE World Heavyweight Championship crowned when the man Bobby Lashley defeated The Miz in what turned out to be a lumberjack match at the end of the night to become the new WWE champion. So let's start with the way that the show was booked, with the match being announced for 9 o'clock. Then Miz gets the bubble guts. Then it's moved to 10 o'clock. Miz pulls the count out gimmick. Then they move it to 10:30. I know some people were like, we're not happy that they kept doing the bait and switch routine, but I thought it was just, I thought it was a really good way to kind of keep people involved. And I mean, even if you weren't going to stay locked in for the entire show, you knew that I'm going to tune back in at 10 o'clock and I'm going to tune back in for the main event. I mean, Miz was being a chicken shit. That's kind of the story of the Miz. I enjoyed the show, and obviously ultimately the crowning at the end. Matt.
Yeah, I mean it's classic Miz tactics. I think that made the story even more fun, made the finish a lot more satisfying for, the wrestling fan that still believes it's real. But to an extent.
Wait, time out. What do you mean believes?
I need to put my other earbud in for this. Hold on.
Is it?
Are
you implying?
It's like that Cher song, "Believe."
Are you trying to say that it's not real?
I didn't say that.
All right. Whew.
Look, I mean, you can believe whatever you'd like.
Scared me for a second.
You can believe in Santa Claus. You can believe that, these finishes aren't premeditated. You can believe anything.
I believe Notre Dame ought to be in a conference.
I don't like the way you're using the word believe. I think I need a little more conviction on belief.
Well, I'm not going to discuss my personal beliefs.
Well, why on earth would you be on an opinion-driven podcast?
Well, we're not talking about fast food here, so opinions don't matter.
Right. Because with fast food, there's only facts.
Speaking of fast food.
Knew that would happen.
If somebody says fast food breakfast, what's the first menu item that comes to your mind, Matt?
None of them. I don't eat fast food breakfast ever.
Oh, so much better than all of us.
No, I can just get takeout from a diner if I want food in the morning.
That's actually a fair point.
Ryan.
McLovin or McMuffin.
Thank you.
I just watched that last night. Drunk guy on the bus calls him McMuffin.
He does. It's call
you, him McMuffin.
Intern Mark.
Well, I like Matt's answer a lot because I would go get an omelet in this takeout, but I would probably rather than do that, I would give up and go to Burger King, but I would go to the one in Mountjoy, not the one in Elizabethtown.
Yeah, we know that story.
I'd get a one of those per sandwich, probably not a meal, just a sandwich.
Tim.
I would get a Chris sandwich, but my first thought is a McMuffin.
Yeah, McMuffin is always the first place that my mind goes. Anyway, Matt, back to.
So there was no story attached to this.
Oh well, I mean, I had a sausage McMuffin with egg and an egg McMuffin this morning for breakfast, but there's no great story behind it.
So real quick, let me sidebar. I'm working with a guy, and he goes to the McDonald's for lunch, and he created what he calls a McGangbang, and he says people know what this is.
He didn't create it.
I've never heard of it.
He didn't create it.
I know he didn't create it. I'm just saying it, but he had to create it by putting the two sandwiches together.
Now,
apparently you take like the top and the bottom of a McChicken and a McDouble, and you put them together, and you eat that all together as one sandwich, and that's a McGangbang.
Yeah,
I never knew such a thing existed.
So there's actually an updated version of the McGangbang where it is a Big Mac and a McChicken.
Oh, that's a lot of McCholesterol.
And you put the McChicken in between the Big Mac.
Yeah, I think we
take away the center bun.
Yes.
And you just put the entire McChicken or
yes.
just the McChicken patty?
The whole McChicken.
Ooh.
That's a lot of bread.
Yeah, we definitely talked about this the other week.
I think there's also a breakfast McGangbang with a McGriddle and a McChicken.
Oh, because
you can get the chickens. Well, you can get a chicken McGriddle now for breakfast. They do the chicken in the morning.
See, for me, the fast food breakfast is really a non-starter since I don't eat meat. So it wasn't me saying I'm better than everyone. I don't really have options unless I'm ordering all these breakfast sandwiches with no meat, where it's just then.
Actually, Burger King has an Impossible Crust sandwich now.
I'll be darned.
Actually, it's actually pretty tasty.
I mean, Dunkin' Donuts has the Beyond sausage sandwiches too. So, I mean, that I would probably go and order. But otherwise, I mean, for me to order an Egg McMuffin without the Canadian bacon, like it's just a sad muffin with.
But at this point, is that even really meat?
What, Canadian bacon?
From McDonald's.
I mean, I think so.
That's so true.
I mean,
it's probably more plastic than it is actually meat.
I mean, it may not be truly Canadian bacon, but it's got to be some form of animal byproduct. I'm sure
There's protein in there somewhere.
I mean, I would eat a pound of McDonald's Canadian bacon before I ate one of their apple pies.
You're just ridiculous.
This is absurd. Okay,
Wait, before we get to McDonald's, they got the new chicken sandwich out. I'm gonna try it tomorrow.
It's so good. It's real good.
Do you suggest the regular or the spicy?
You know my answer.
You baby mouth.
Ryan will never eat.
I baby mouth it.
But Matt, was it you that said that the spicy wasn't spicy?
Yeah.
No.
Because the spicy nuggies I thought were actually kind of spicy.
I got fucking orange chicken the other day when it was spicy to me.
Good Lord.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. I derailed us.
It's okay.
This is my
It
fault.
wouldn't be a 3 count Thursday without us hungry fat asses talking about food.
How do we not have like the ba-da-bum-bum-bum sound effect?
Okay, I'm gonna write that down.
Like we talk about this every single week.
That's true.
Yeah, I was gonna try to stray us off topic with an ice cream debate.
Oh,
there's so much.
Save it for next week. Save it.
I was gonna say I don't think we've used our allotted food chat.
We might need a good derail after we come back from commercial. You could
True. Yeah, at least
save it then.
Okay.
Hold it till after commercial, maybe till next week. We'll play by time.
Tim, what is on the agenda today? There's an AEW pay-per-view that'll take maybe 4 minutes for us to cover, and then what else do you got?
Do we have a question of the week, Ryan?
You have the question of the week.
It's not till later. We have the show rundown. We're talking about Bobby Lashley being the WWE champion and The Miz being a chicken shit, and that effing Brady kid just screaming in our ears.
They're looking for Bobby. They're heartbroken.
Yeah, sure.
And he could be anywhere in that desert.
They could be.
And I bet they found him in 20 minutes.
Well, I think it was a
what's a
two-parter. So I went to bed that night not knowing what happened to Bobby and Cindy. I couldn't sleep. It was awful.
Will you stop? Matt, back to Raw. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we went way off the rails there. What was I talking about? Oh, yes. So for people who believe this was a good
Wait,
finish.
no. No more waiting.
Is this about the ice cream?
Yes.
I want the scoop.
Oh my God.
You mute me for saying stupid shit and give it unbelievable.
It's because he's old and unpaid.
That's fair. He's
I'm
the
old and
intern.
underpaid.
Yeah, we're just
I'm
unpaid.
Mark, let's see that mustache or that mustache. Let's see that beard real quick. Let's get a solo shot on Mark here for this. A nice beard
Look at
check.
this.
Lord.
Look at that. Look at that.
You gotta braid it.
I'd like to. I think I'll braid it before I
Charlie-
trim it up.
Charlie asked, have you seen where someone takes Chick-fil-A nuggets, fries, mac and cheese, and mix it with buffalo sauce? Well, I've seen the nuggets into the mac and cheese with their buffalo sauce to make like a buffalo chicken mac and cheese, and it looks phenomenal. But
The mac and cheese is so good.
it is. Back to Raw. Matt, I think Matt was talking.
You were talking about a concept called belief.
Believe.
Yes. So for those wrestling purists who believe in their heart of hearts in the heel versus face, this was a very satisfying finish, I would say. And I like Bob E. Lashley as your new
That was
champion.
Peter.
I think Peter was the whiniest shit of all the Bradys too. Not to get too far off, but my God, what an asshole he was.
His voice was changing in that one episode. They made a song about it. Remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
Nobody remembers that.
I do. I watched every episode of the Brady Bunch. It's on.
When it's time to change, you got to rearrange.
Ryan, when he asks questions like that, you just have to say yes so we can keep moving.
Got it. Favorite episode.
Anyway, Bobby Lashley as new champion. I'm here for it.
Ryan, thoughts on Monday Night Raw?
Yeah, much like Matt was saying, I think you have to Feliz, as in Navidad, in Bobby Lashley. So I also Feliz that I think he's going to be a great champion. I love Bob Lashley a lot. I have a Bobby Lashley pillowcase on tonight that I'm going to sleep on, and it was a fine match. I love how people got upset that they kept pushing it off and pushing it off.
And was really upset though.
One of our commenters.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. The mad. He was mad, and he's a scientist, and his name is Nick. We'll call him Nick F. I don't want to like put him on, or N Ficarelli, whatever, either or. But I don't want to expose who he was. But he was mad about it. But
I can never tell when Jim says people are mad, because I know Jim like seeks out the arguments on Twitter. So I never know if it's like a lot of people saying this or if Jim is searching. I'm pissed about this Raw, so he can.
Here we go, guys.
To be fair, I have never Googled who was pissed at Raw. I've never Twitter searched who was pissed at Raw. Never has happened.
Okay, now truth be told, Nick usually gets pissed because you send him a GIF. He says something and you just GIF him off, and he's like, "All right, I'm done."
Yeah.
And I've never used GIF. I don't think as a verb there, but you GIFed him off pretty good.
I hate that you're saying GIF.
He's saying it correctly.
It's definitely not a GIF.
It's not GIF. It's not GIF. It's GIF.
The G stands for what? Graphic, correct?
The G, the dude who named it and made the file named it GIF.
Anyone who says GIF, including the guy who made it.
Fight start.
Okay, so the dude, so all the kids named Joff,
Daddy are fighting again.
Geoff, and they pronounce it Jeff, but it's Joff. You gonna tell all those kids their name is wrong?
Right,
Yeah.
it's simple.
Wrong? No, sir.
It's not a giraffe, it's a giraffe. Let's move on.
But there's Jif peanut butter, not, and that's with a J.
Yes,
that's right, Mark. Yes.
It just sounds
just like you have hair in your beard, and a hair is also a rabbit.
Using it as a verb just sounds bad. I don't know that I've GIFed anyone.
You
off.
GIFed him off hard the other day.
You definitely
so much.
And you do it on purpose.
You just pulled it out and started jiffing all over him.
You gift him right in the face.
Oh, it'd be right if you said GIFed him right in the face.
It's the gift. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
I think you gift him. It's better to gift than to receive.
I feel like
Monday
that should
Night
be
Raw.
right
God
there.
bless.
It's better to GIF than receive.
Sure. Mark, any thoughts on Monday Night Raw? Bob Lashley winning the title?
Was that this week?
That was this week.
Yeah, I tuned in and watched that. Now, you know what? Anybody that when they say, "Hey, this week, it's going to be Robert Lashley and whoever," and you think, "Oh, it's going to start and it's going to finish there right at 8:00, and then I can turn off the TV," that ain't happening. They're going to milk that thing out till the end of the show. Is this your first week watching wrestling? Come on.
Well,
man.
Mark, unless you're AEW, and we're going to trot out the big unit right away.
Oh, that's true. You got me there.
The large program.
That's true.
The large program. They
either book the show that one way or you book it in reverse on a Wednesday.
But sometimes there's no more BS.
That's true. Yeah, AEW's no more.
The answer
no
to
more
the
BS.
question is I usually run the 3-count Twitter. So
that's very obvious.
Yes.
Was that in question?
That was a question.
Who asked that? I don't even see that.
That's Scotty.
Oh,
Scotty.
Not freaking knows too.
Scotty.
Come on, Scotty. You're
Scotty doesn't know.
It's the one thing Scotty does know is that
Come on,
Big
Scotty.
Jim runs the Twitter.
He's
He's the host,
who
so he
runs-
has to run it.
Who runs this Twitter gym? Isn't that a Beyonce song?
Sure.
Sure. Tim, Bob Lashley.
So, as a fan and as somebody who wanted the title change to happen, I hated the bait and switches, but loved it because I just wanted it. Like, I was like, okay, 9:00, here it is. No! And now you're making me wait till 10, and then they do it again. And it was great television. It's a way to guarantee people will stay through to the end. And through it all, I don't see any way that the Hurt Business are bad guys at all.
No,
Like, it's changed now. They're absolute good guys.
I agree. I mean, when you're the foil to the Miz, I mean, especially, I mean that's an easy, that when the lumberjacks are working in your favor, I mean that's a switch in and of itself.
And did you ever think we weren't going to get to the match though on Monday?
I sure thought that they were going to push it to next week.
I thought so. I bought into the fact that it wasn't going to happen.
I was so ready for it to go to next. I was waiting for the Miz to get himself disqualified.
Yeah, I thought that there was going to be fuckery. I mean, here's the deal: when WWE brings out a lumberjack match, that screams fuckery. like that just screams this is not going to go the way a lumberjack match is designed to go, but it actually did, with the exception of Retribution not throwing Miz back in, but Cedric and Shelton just coming over and yoking him back in there.
But that kind of goes back to the storyline of Retribution and the Hurt Business. So even then it had some play to it. I'm just so happy that they actually pulled the trigger on Bobby Lashley as WWE champion, and it's so good, man. I'm so thrilled.
I'm genuinely surprised. I mean, going into Monday, I did think that it was going to be, I thought Drew was going to interfere, and we were going to get a triple threat. But, once he had his match with Sheamus, I was like, I didn't feel like he was going to get involved, but I didn't think we were actually going to get the match, or a title change. I thought I just thought it was going to play itself out through to Fastlane, but it didn't.
Me.
Now, who do you think the match at the pay-per-view, Ryan doesn't like the name, will be against?
Fastlane?
That's the one.
Me.
Do you have any thoughts of who, if he even...
Jim, did you have that sound effect up in the cloud, or did you look up for another reason?
Oh, it's up in the cloud.
Okay.
God,
where's the sound?
Right here.
There it is.
There it is.
You're so good at like clipping people's voices out. Why don't you just clip my beep out and you can just do it whenever you want?
I should just make it all into one. Do you think he has a match at Fastlane?
Beep. It might be a rematch against The Miz.
Okay.
If they want to sell the pay-per-view, he better have a match.
That's
well, then again, it is called Fastlane, so that'll sell me on it.
I mean, if we're saying dream match for Fastlane, I mean, Damian Priest is right there.
He's busy.
It's not a dream match anymore, Matt, because the U.S. title's not involved.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Come on, try to keep
I know
up.
the WWE title's involved.
Yeah, but come on now.
That takes a dream to a wet dream real easy, doesn't it? Yeah, I'm curious.
I don't think we're gonna get a Roman match. So you almost have to have a WWE Championship match.
I think you might get a Roman match.
Really? Well, I don't think you get a Universal title match.
It depends on SmackDown, because on SmackDown tomorrow, Daniel Bryan challenges Jey Uso, and if Daniel Bryan wins, he gets Roman Reigns at Fastlane.
So I think Daniel Bryan will win and then just get the beatdown afterward?
I don't think so. I think they might make this thing a triple threat.
Oh, okay. All right.
Interesting.
I think that, or there may be other plans for Daniel Bryan.
Could be.
If he doesn't if things don't go sideways, or if things do go sideways with the match against Roman Reigns, there might be other plans for Daniel Bryan.
Because usually, like the last couple of years, they've kind of gone, it was some of the main events. They've kind of gone, triple threat or fatal four ways, and because they try and get a lot of people on the card. But I feel like they're gonna go one-on-one with Roman and Edge, just because it that's the match, and whatever they do on the Raw side, I think I don't think we're gonna get a lot of multi-person matches for titles.
I think either one of those two title matches will be a triple threat.
Really? Yeah, I think the WWE title, Universal title, and both women's titles are all going to be one-on-one. I think like your Intercontinental, US title, tag team matches, I think those may be triple threat, fatal four ways type of things, ladder match.
I think Intercontinental is going to be single because Big E's out right now, and Apollo Crews has this new gimmick.
Yes, which is fantastic.
I just think he's about to send me an email to ask me for $18 million. But yeah, I think WrestleMania is shaping up to be very, very good.
When did we have the last triple threat match at Mania for a championship? I'm thinking back.
20.
It's not in the 30s, right? 35 was
Daniel Bryan, Triple H, and Batista.
At 30.
Randy Orton.
Batista, and Daniel Bryan.
Oh, that's right.
The main event at 35.
Because last year we didn't have one, right?
Yeah, 36 was the Boneyard match and Big Show.
No, I mean I'm talking like championship match.
Oh, it was Drew.
Not main event.
It was Drew, Big Show, Drew, Brock, and it was Goldberg and Braun.
35. The main event, the women's triple threat.
The women's triple threat, yes.
Yep.
Now, the men was Seth
and
Brock, and Kofi
Bryan.
Mm-hmm.
Bryan, right? So I feel like we think that, but I think if you go back, I don't think history will be on our side in proving that.
I
think ever since they did those dumb battle royals, everybody gets one with the battle royal.
Well, that's true.
Here, fight for the fallopian tubes.
The other thought I had is when we're talking about Bobby Lashley and the Hurt Business, and obviously in the last year we've seen the success of the Hurt Business since its inception, around WrestleMania time, right after WrestleMania time till now. Do you think that this is something that not necessarily that they should, but that they could have MVP on SmackDown, on NXT, to expand the business, so to speak, and have guys on those shows, or women on those shows as well, and have the Hurt Business on SmackDown, Hurt Business in NXT, that have people that need need a mouthpiece, need a leader, and build off of the success of this? Or do you think that kind of muddies the water and lessens the impact of the Hurt Business on Raw?
Yeah. Have you ever heard of the NWO?
That's what I was thinking too.
No, I've never heard of them. Who is the NWO, Ryan?
Well, then you had the Wolfpack, and then the BWO, and the Latino World Order, and it's not going to work.
So just stick to what's working on Raw, and
yeah. I mean, when you initially said it, I was like, oh, maybe. But then as you started to expand on it, I was like, oh, no, I don't think that feasibly makes sense.
The more you talked about it, Jim, the worse it sounded. If you would have been like MVP on SmackDown, I'd be like, oh, shit. Okay.
I mean, for the record, I don't think that
talking.
I don't think that they should. That's why I was like, could they? They could. I mean, theoretically, they could.
Yeah, Jim, no, I'm sorry. I just don't think that your idea is that good.
I think that it would lessen the effectiveness of the Hurt Business by putting them on multiple brands.
unless you strap championships to them on all brands.
Even still, I think that's just, it makes things like messy.
Also, not to make it a thing about race, but SmackDown is very much like this. There's not a lot of melanin on SmackDown as far as blackness. There's not a lot of blackness for males. It's like Apollo and Big E, and that's it. And then we've got the Usos, who pseudo black. They play.
Well,
they play.
They're in their own family.
They play in the paint. Yeah, they're part of the family and Roman. But then like you've got Bianca and Bailey, and you've got Reginald.
Ooh.
So now I would like to see a female member of the Hurt Business.
Yeah, I think you can do that. Because Naomi's on Raw,
and Naomi's best friends with Bobby Lashley's ex-wife.
True. Aha,
Bobby.
Very true.
All comes around.
Lest we forget that wedding from December 20th.
We shan't.
We're also talking about the WWE here, and if they put a woman in there, you could almost be sure that Vince McMahon will rehire Sarah Logan and put her in the Hurt Business.
No, WWE would bring Natalya from SmackDown and make her the Queen of Black Hearts and put her with the Hurt Business.
I don't think you can say that, Tim.
You can.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna
They put Owen Hart in the Nation and called him the Black Heart.
Yeah, we're gonna get hate mail for that.
Yeah.
That's at
Why?
Not the Tool Man. Send all of your poop emojis to at Not the Tool Man.
That's fine. I'm not saying that was my idea. I'm saying I know that Bruce Pritchard works for WWE, and Vince McMahon thinks that's good shit.
We're almost ready to cancel the real Tool Man. We're gonna be canceling Not the Tool Man here real soon.
Ain't no chance, partner.
No, I'm telling you, I read it on Twitter. It's very true.
Yeah, that Tim Allen is a piece of shit, and he's gonna ruin my name.
What happened with Tim Allen?
He's doing so much weird.
I'll tell you, Mark.
He's selling his own pillows now too.
30 years ago, he was arrested with 1.5 pounds of cocaine, and he sold all of his affiliates out the river to get a lesser sentence.
Well,
Tim Allen.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
You know that.
So
All right.
Tim Allen's a stool pigeon, is what you're saying.
One other thing from Monday Night Raw, it would appear that we may be being set up to have a Charlotte Flair run towards the Raw Women's title at WrestleMania. I know, shocking.
The push no one saw coming. Might as well put a fucking tagline on that.
My question is, with the way that Monday Night Raw and their women's division has been booked as of late, and it's not been good, like who else besides somebody that is coming soon to Monday Night Raw? Like, I don't know that there's anybody else on that roster right now that like realistically has a claim, as sad as that is. Like, Charlotte has been the easy one to see like for months, that this is probably going to be your Mania match, whether we like it or not. Like, is there anybody else that it could even be at this point?
You could do a tournament of Japanese wrestlers.
If only there was like a big match that they hold annually, where one person can lay claim to a title and build a story out of that. I mean, WWE should look into having such, spitballing here, maybe 30 people enter this thing. And
Sure.
The winner...
We're definitely talking about bra and panty match, right?
Correct. The winner of the evening gown match gets to, the 30-woman evening gown match, gets to choose their opponent at WrestleMania. I mean, that would be a good way to insert someone new, so you're not just relying on Charlotte every time, but unfortunately, WWE doesn't have such a match.
I'm shocked they haven't ever thought of a match like that.
Now, it's not like they were banking on Charlotte. I mean, I really feel like somebody got pregnant and probably threw a wrench into these plans. And Charlotte is your only backup option. That's the problem.
Except
that you
the
can
person.
have a game plan going into it. The game plan shifts, and you go, "Well, we only got Charlotte now."
Except the person that's pregnant is like doesn't have a baby anymore. Like that baby's gone now. That it's alive, but it's not in her.
Or you're talking about Lacey? Because
no,
I picked up on that.
Ryan's talking about Lacey.
Oh, okay. I'm talking about Bucky Lunch.
I also was talking about Bucky Lunch until I put that together. But even still, if you were putting all your eggs in the Lacey Evans basket, you already have some.
Well, she had her own eggs, and that's what got us into this mess in the first place.
She had a basket full of them.
Sarah Logan.
And I enjoy Lacey Evans.
Sarah Logan.
I mean, that wasn't a build that I think anyone was excited for anyway.
Like, she wasn't going to win the title at Elimination Chamber, was she?
I think she
Yes.
was.
Wait, seriously?
Yes.
Do you even watch the same program?
It was going to be Lacey and Charlotte at WrestleMania.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah.
And that just holds down to the problem isn't even like Charlotte's still in this picture. That's the issue. Like,
but Charlotte was in that picture because the storyline put her there. Now she's just put there because she's the only one left that can draw.
Like, I don't dislike Lacey Evans, and I'm like, why were they going to do that? Like, that's not a WrestleMania match to me.
I mean, they had the build going, Jim.
But also, like,
it was in Lacey's corner. I mean,
Yeah.
It was there.
I guess.
It was something.
But like to say that like Charlotte being in the main event of or the Raw Women's title match at WrestleMania is a bad thing. That's kind of crazy.
It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a tired one.
Were we saying the same thing when John Cena was in every WrestleMania main event?
Actually, yes.
100%.
What about Hulk Hogan when he was in every WrestleMania main event until
Yes.
9?
Any Bret Hart match at yes.
Like the guys are on top because they're on top. Like just keep them there. Charlotte will be done in 3 years anyways.
Right, but that's where you run into this problem then of you're kind of shoehorned into, well, I guess we got to put Big Match John out here again because he's the only name that can draw because he's the only name we're pushing.
Are you sure about that?
Well, that she's the only other name that's around besides well, Becky's gone. Like there's Asuka and there's Becky and then who else?
Eva Marie?
Not on the roster currently. I'm sorry.
She's getting better.
To build with this. I mean, Alexa Bliss could have gone somewhere.
They turned her spooky and they make Randy Orton do Papa Shango things.
Right. But I mean, there's another person that they could have pushed. There was a storyline there when Bray and Becky, or not Becky, Alexa were on top of the world that, we had a path towards someone new at WrestleMania that they could have justifiably built for. I mean, an Alexa Bliss versus Asuka match is probably a big enough draw if you push that storyline for a few months.
It is.
So, and I'm not saying this is a knock on Charlotte because I like Charlotte Flair as a wrestler. It's just with any wrestler, eventually I'll get tired of them if I'm only seeing them.
Yeah, like
what if we have a successful tag team in the women's division and we break them up? And then we push Peyton Royce. So
you're talking crazy.
Now you're sounding like Peyton Royce's mom.
Ridiculous.
Which, by the way, if nobody saw, Peyton Royce's mom took to Twitter and retweeted the WWE's tweet about Charlotte. And she was like, why not give somebody else a chance?
Yeah.
I'm like, it's a work.
Yeah.
I'd expect
if you believe that.
Well, he still believes. She still believes. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I get why Charlotte's in the match, and I don't hate Charlotte Flair, but it's like, she was gone for 6 months, comes back, tag title, now in the Raw Women's title picture. Like, it's Yeah, I like the bigger problem I have is that in that 6-8 month period, you did a whole lot of nothing to establish anybody else really on that roster to even be thought of in that spot.
But then again, like, who was there?
I mean, you have, whether you really believe it or not, legitimate people in Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax, but you fucking burdened them with the tag team championships.
But Nia was hurt for most of that time.
She's not like most.
I understand that. I think Shayna is like on the cusp. I think by next WrestleMania she'll be ready to go.
And if they don't have a spot for her in the singles realm, I have no issues with her being a part of the tag division and that she's featured and that people, and she's featured in a way that, she's different. She's also not like most, much like her tag team partner. Like she's different than the
But
rest.
it's also not like we've seen the WWE take a women's champion and make them a women's champion of the brand.
I mean, we've seen what WWE can do with someone when they get behind them and push them. I mean, Bianca Belair is a prime example of that because they believed in her and she took off. I mean, they have the ability to do that with other people. I understand the safety net that they have with Charlotte, and sometimes it's just kind of like sure, Charlotte again, why not? But that's why we get like the Goldberg matches at times, because they don't push people enough when they have them, and then we have to rely on the retreads, which we're seeing now, unfortunately, with the women's division, where it's just like the 4 horsewomen were great. I love all 4 of them, but I mean, I'm tired of the 4 horsewomen at this point. I want new stuff too.
Yeah, like I'm glad, on the SmackDown side that we're away from that for the WrestleMania picture, and that Bayley's not in that title spot. Do you think there's a possibility that with the debut of Rhea Ripley that match becomes a triple threat?
I think there's a chance Rhea jumps Charlotte and it's Rhea and Asuka at Mania.
I would love that.
I would love that.
Yep.
And and I know sometimes people don't like a person to come in and get a title right away, but I think that we were already introduced to Rhea on the grandest stage of them all last year. That I think that you can play off of that, and it would make total sense and be fine. And I think in fact I hope that happens, and then you have your first program potentially coming out of WrestleMania with Charlotte as well. Ew, what, Charlie?
Yeah, I don't want to even acknowledge it. That's horrible.
Pizza?
Wait, what was that?
Charlie's directing
I saw a picture of that shit.
Mark to find his wife a pickle pizza. What? Why is that a thing?
So my dog is here next to me, and she's eating her butt in defiance of that pickle pizza talk.
Cool pizza.
Hi, puppers.
Scotty asks, why not Naomi versus Asuka? I would have no problem with that. I think Naomi's fantastic.
Absolutely.
But I think they're telling. I think they're telling
back. So I mean, they didn't have enough time to build that. So that I get, but I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Naomi in that spot.
And I think they're doing the Lana Naomi tag team thing right now. Like Naomi, I think maybe a little bit more in line title shot wise if you were looking towards like SummerSlam potentially. But yeah, pickle pizza, that sounds awful. Okay, let's pause here. Let's go to commercial. We'll come back. We have a question of the week. Obviously, we're going to predict the AEW pay-per-view coming up this Sunday night. So stick with us. 3 Count Thursday live.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
3 Count Thursday is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app. That's arenaeats.app for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order? You're listening to NGSC Sports Radio. Hear us live on ngscsports.com, where you can get awesome analysis on all things sports. Or check out our podcasts on iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn, and much more. For our latest videos, subscribe to NGSC Sports YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at NGSC Sports, and like us on Facebook. NGSC Sports. We never stop. Welcome back, 3 Count Thursday live, facebook.com/3 Count Thursday. March the 4th, we looking forward to the AEW pay-per-view this coming Sunday night. We'll give our predictions for that. We'll talk our question of the week relating to the WWE Hall of Fame. But Scotty asked a good question here. Last night, NXT, we saw the women's tag team title match, and there's some shenanigans with some refereeing, and after that, William Regal says there'll be a big announcement next week on NXT relating to that picture. Any predictions on what that big announcement may be?
What picture again?
Isn't the women's tag team title picture?
Oh, I didn't watch NXT.
Yeah, there was
did they win?
A dust? No, they did not. It was like a bad finish. So Regal said he's going to announce something next week. And I think half the people think it's just a rematch, and the other half think that NXT are going to get their own tag team women's championships, which isn't great. I don't love that idea.
No, I
also feel like there's enough women in there that you could get away with it.
Right. So have
them carry the championship and get some exposure
titles and defend them on NXT and occasionally defend them on
and defend them up on the main roster.
It could be a set of NXT women's tag titles that leads to the fastest unification title match of all time at WrestleMania.
It could.
To which the dudettes with attitudettes win the titles, unify them, take them just to NXT, and never again defend them on the WWE title or the WWE programming.
Could
take them away.
Maybe they'll get a rematch at WrestleMania, and that'll be how you get your women's tag titles on WrestleMania, and Dakota and Raquel get a big shining spot on the biggest stage. I'd be fine with that, because they should win the titles whenever this resolves itself. They should be the tag team champions. Yeah, bummed that it didn't happen last night, but I'm going to hold out hope next week for a good announcement and a good plan for that. We do have the 3 Count question of the week this week, and this actually comes from Ryan. If you could remove anyone from the WWE Hall of Fame, who would it be and why? Is there anybody that wants to give their answer first?
You broke this up into 2 parts, correct?
I personally did.
Of course you did. You didn't tell us about it, I bet.
I actually did.
That's why I asked.
So I'm going to give one on the wrestling side, one from the celebrity wing. For mine, you guys do not have to do that. That is how I chose to answer the question.
So can we do it that if once someone's removed, no one else can remove that person?
Sure.
Okay.
So who wants to start?
I want to go second then.
Okay. Does anybody want to go first?
You know what? Fuck it. I'll go first.
Ryan goes
Don't
first.
do it, Smokey.
I'm going to do it. I am kicking Kid Rock right the fuck out of the Hall of Fame. Sorry.
Awesome. So we're starting in the celebrity wing.
We're going to start right in that celebrity wing, and Kid Rock's gone for that godforsaken song with Sheryl Crow more than anything.
Oh,
That's
my.
the reason.
Fuck you, buddy.
Kid Rock gone. Anybody want to go second?
Out.
I'll
go ahead, Matt. That doesn't matter. Should we rock, paper, scissors for it?
You should.
Mark, go ahead. Mark, go ahead.
All right, I'm going to kick out of the celebrity wing Drew Carey because he's an absolute, just does not belong in here at all. I'm getting upset about just thinking about it. Get him out of there.
Drew, you
Terrible.
are gone.
I had two celebrities, Mark. Kid Rock and Drew Carey.
Those were the
Get
two.
him out.
I mean, I figured everybody else was going to pick the low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Who wants to go next? Because I'm going to have to quick find a new one. Apparently, if I don't go next.
Here you go. I got a good one. You want to know who the most nothing happening WWE Hall of Famer is?
Who's that?
Larry Zbyszko.
He's
Not a celebrity.
No, I'm not doing celebrities because the only other one that's left is Donald Trump. Everybody else is cool. I'm not getting rid of the fridge. I'm not getting rid of Pete Rose. I'm not getting rid of.
You can make an argument to get rid of Snoop Dogg.
Nah, man. Nah, man.
Oh,
Jim was going to kick out Snoop Dogg because he's AEW now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nah,
There's the wrong
but
colors.
I'm getting rid of. I'm absolutely getting rid of. I know I'm jumping all over the place.
All over the place.
But he's got to go. Larry Zbyszko has got to go.
Tim, did you have a bad experience in Larry Land?
I did not have. Well, I mean, there's a story about me and Larry Zbyszko where so
we're all ears.
Yeah, so like the very first time I went to an autograph signing, actually, can you guys go ahead? I have to get a visual aid for my story.
All right.
Yeah.
So go ahead. I'll be right back.
So, I mean, obviously,
we're kicking down Trump out. While Tim's gone, I'll give my pick for the actual Hall of Fame and who I'm removing. And that is,
I was looking over like the rest of the inductees, and there's not really any other egregious celebrity, entrance. So
it was those three.
Basically, you know what? Let's just get rid of the celebrity wing. Why?
That's fair, actually.
Why is there a celebrity wing? Because the only ones left are like Pete Rose, Mike Tyson. Like, I mean, yeah, Mike Tyson was the guest referee.
Who are the ones left? Bob Uecker?
Yeah, let me run them down here. We got Bob Uecker,
William Fridge Perry,
William Refrigerator Perry, Mike Tyson, Mr. T. Hell, kick him out because that speech lasted 7 hours.
Oh, no, you got to keep him for that speech.
Yeah.
About his mama.
His mama wouldn't be happy.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Snoop Dogg, which we mentioned, and Kid Rock, and that's it.
Yeah, we
it's an absolute.
Right, so I'll do my actual wrestler while Tim's gone because I'm getting Sting out of the Hall of Fame.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Why?
Whoa!
Yowie wowie!
Shots fired.
Part of the question was why? Why are you putting Sting out?
WCW guy. I mean, is his WWE career anything to write home about?
I mean, Harlem Heat's in there, and they didn't even wrestle once in the WWE.
I mean, sure, there's some old school guys that didn't wrestle, but like at least have a legacy on wrestling in general, which Sting does, sure, but
I say because I think
Tim wasn't here for that.
They started bringing it, but wow, I did not see Sting getting removed from the WWE Hall of Fame
either.
Yes. I mean, again, he's a turncoat, so I'm fine with it. Get him out.
And I mean, he finally has his one match, and he loses to Triple H in one of the worst matches at WrestleMania ever.
Yeah, there we go. Anybody who wants to go next? Ryan, Mark?
Yeah, sure. I can go next. I am kicking. I'm going to kick Brutus the Barber Beefcake right out of the Hall of Fame. A one-time Intercontinental Championship is not enough to be cemented in the Hall of Fame. Sorry, bud.
Was he the IC champ? Because I don't remember that.
He was, I'm sorry, one time tag team champion.
Tag team. I was going to say
tag team champ. He's a one-time tag team champ.
Even lower.
Him and Greg Valentine, the Dream Team.
That's correct. Yes, sir. One time.
Intern Mark, who would you remove? What wrestler
Well,
would you remove from the Hall of Fame?
this one's a little tough. I would I'd like to, just because all signs point to he got away with murder, I'd kick Jimmy Snuka out is my first thought. I think for what he did in wrestling and his legacy, had he not murdered a woman, he would belong in there. If it wasn't Jimmy Snuka, I think I'd kick out Coco Beware, because honestly, I like Coco, but what has Coco Beware done to be in the WWE Hall of Fame?
Yeah,
on Wikipedia, his list of WWE, WWF like accomplishments
Hall of Fame
is simply a Hall of Fame.
Who did I miss?
You missed
Coco Beware and Brutus the Barber Beefcake, and that was it.
I don't agree with Coco.
And you also missed.
Ain't gonna agree with this next one.
Who?
Matt removed Sting from the WWE Hall of Fame.
Well, I'm removing Mr. T.
You said there was no celebrities to be removed.
While you were gone, we actually just removed the celebrity wing.
Oh, okay, perfect. That's fine.
We removed the entire wing.
The fictional wing of the fictional building of the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yes. The fake wing of the fake building.
Yeah, the fact that Cyndi Lauper never made it in there is an absolute crock. After what she did for rock and wrestling.
Cyndi Lauper not. Now I had Snuka as mine. I had Goldberg there jokingly, kind of jokingly. But I had Snuka listed as mine. I had Honky Tonk Man and Coco Beware as like honorable mentions. Because
Honky Tonk was over.
But Snuka was my number one. Absolutely, because he murdered somebody.
Murdered him dead.
Yep, sure did. Got away with it.
Charlie says he's removing Coco and Kid Rock. Scotty says Donald Trump because of the obvious. Bill Goldberg, get him the hell out. Scotty has Hogan. Here's the deal. Hulk Hogan as the wrestler should absolutely be in the WWE Hall of Fame. Terry Bollea, and I get like we're taking Snuka out because he killed somebody. And obviously what Terry Bollea has done outside of the wrestling world is no good either. But
low key, isn't it the same shit Donald Trump did that we took him out for?
I mean, kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is a spade a spade?
Fair. But I had Snuka as my one, so I mean, if we are going back, and I don't think any of these individuals are going to be removed ever. You know, it's a fantasy booking question. So,
well, the Hulkster's already been removed once. And they reinstated him.
That you're right. They did reinstate him. So, I mean, if he got reinstated back into the company, I guess.
I actually don't think Snook is listed anymore either.
Yeah, I don't think he is either.
Smart. Do you think we ever actually get a Hall of Fame building?
I freaking hope so.
I do too.
That would be nice.
My brother lives in Florida, so that would give me yet another reason to go there. Like, brother.
Yeah, but they put it like Topeka or somewhere stupid.
Topeka?
Who the fuck knows?
Topeka.
Why wouldn't they?
We put it in Connecticut, I would think.
Connecticut also makes sense.
I think it would end up in Orlando because you have
tourist town.
Yep, Superfly is off the website.
There you go.
I mean, there's other non-deserving folks too, like Hillbilly Jim. I'm not sure he necessarily deserves the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
The Godfather.
The Godfather is a weird one. Put in Charles Wright. Yeah, Papa Shaw. You mean The Godfather?
They put in.
The most successful thing he ever did.
They put in Razor Ramon and Diesel.
Was it Diesel or Kevin Nash?
It was Diesel.
Yeah, they put in Diesel and Razor Ramon.
Yeah, they put in the best known WWE property.
The NWO, which is going in
this year? Question mark.
Hogan, Nash, Hall, Waltman.
Okay.
Getting me all fired up again. No, Bischoff.
Yeah, Bischoff belongs on that.
Bischoff belongs.
A couple of responses from the listeners. I think this was Rodney. This is Sonny or Snuka. Sonny's not in the Hall of Fame.
Sonny
Yes,
definitely
she
in the
is.
Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Says,
I mean, she turned out to be a bit of a train wreck, but I feel like what she did as a valet puts her in.
yeah, I don't think there's anything necessarily egregious enough.
I mean, recency bias, it's not good for Sonny, but I think you can look at her in like the days of the new generation, and she was fine.
He was
Hi,
the most
hi.
downloaded.
Mike
fine.
has
Taking
Mike
Donald Trump out, then Sonny, I mean, would probably remove herself since she loves him so much.
She does. She does.
Mike says the
My
fabulous
pillows.
Moolah. Mike is removing Moolah.
Ooh, that's a great call.
Yeah, that's true too. Moolah.
Eric
He's
says
not very
go with the
popular.
hateful, bigoted, insurrection inciting one. We have
So he had Sonny too. Okay.
Couple more Trumps. Another one for Moolah. Zach also says lowered bar removal. Tori Wilson. She really accomplished nothing.
Yeah, that's.
I
She's
mean,
not wrong.
Everything.
She accomplished some things.
Yeah, my adulthood.
Right, and she even said that in her speech. We do have a Godfather on Facebook.
That is so shameful.
Mario says if it's not the Bellas, it's Mr. T.
The Bellas aren't quite in yet.
Jason says Drew Carey. Another Jason says Coco Beware.
Coco, watch out.
So Tim,
Poor Coco.
story time.
Story time with Tim. So I'm going to go big screen on myself really quick just to show this picture.
Wait, I can go. Never mind.
So shut the F up. So the very first time I ever had a meet and greet, or I did a meet and greet to meet wrestlers, it was at the 10th Inning Trading Card and Comic Store in Hampton, Virginia. And I met the wrestling legends of Ivan Koloff, Tito Santana,
Arriba.
Nikolai Volkov, oh God. And that guy on the very bottom right here, Larry, ZYBYSKO, Larry Zbyszko. And it was all inside the trading card shop. So you had to make a circuit to go around and get everybody to sign. Well, Larry Zbyszko is also featured as a playable character on the game WCW NWO Revenge. And I thought I was going to be so cool. I brought WCW Revenge to the card store to get him to sign it. So I put the box in front of him and he goes, "What's your name?" And I go, "My name's Tim." He goes, "Oh, my son's name is Tim." Automatically, I'm thinking we're going to hit it off. Like, Larry Zbyszko is my dad. This is great.
Sweet.
He's gonna be my best friend.
He's going to be my dad. And so like, I have the game. I'm like, "Can you sign the game for me?" He goes, "Do they call me the living legend in the game?"
Oh, my.
Uh-oh.
And I said,
Oh,
"No, I'm sorry, they don't." He goes, "Yeah, I can't sign it. I'm still fighting in court with Vince Jr. over rights to the living legend with Bruno. So if it doesn't say living legend, I can't sign it."
wow.
And I said, "F you, guy."
Now, wait a minute. Is that Larry's fault or Vince Jr.'s?
It's Larry's fault because I just wanted him to sign a stupid video game and he didn't want to sign it because he wasn't called the living legend in the game. Mind you, it was a WCW video game. Vince McMahon had nothing to do with it, but he signed it because it was 2003. WCW was dead for 2 years.
No, Mark, that's a great question. My question is, why'd you have to get the prop?
Because I wanted to show off the autograph.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mark.
You know, you could have lied.
Oh,
to him,
okay,
he probably wouldn't have known.
Mr. Big Guy. Talk about Mark stuff.
Easily lied to him. I would have lied to him. I would have said yes. It does.
Right. If he doesn't know, the answer is
He
yes.
wouldn't have a clue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not gonna say yes.
At the last signing we had the icons of wrestling. we called her the living legend Maria Manic, and people believed it.
I'm 16 years old. I'm not gonna lie to a guy I've seen on television during my formative years.
His new wrestle dad. He's not gonna lie to him.
That's fair.
I don't want to go to Larry Land.
Get your shit together, Ryan.
How dare you?
Last signing we went to, some guy thought that Riley Madison was Maria Manic, and we all just let it happen.
Yeah, we definitely let that happen.
8 by 10s.
It's a lot different when you're on this side of the autograph signing table as opposed to that side.
It is a big difference
because you can just make up the rules as you go along. But yeah,
that was a great day. Jordan Grace was there. Mark, you missed that. That was a shame.
But yeah, Larry Zbyszko's an asshole because he wouldn't sign WCW NWO Revenge because it didn't call him the living legend like he's a living legend. You know, the only thing he did in his life was ride Bruno Sammartino's coattails to one feud, and that's it.
I mean,
I gotta check my Zbyszko autograph myself and see if it says the living legend. If that's how he signed it.
He didn't. I have another one that's individual of just Larry Zbyszko. It says to Tim Larry Zbyszko.
So why didn't you get him to sign the game that time you went?
Because it was the same time.
Oh.
Right. Oh man,
how far back in the line then and be like, "Hey, can you sign this game?" He probably forgot.
Oh, I'm sure he doesn't remember.
Did they call me the living legend? Yep. Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, the fat kid earlier said no.
I wasn't as fat as I was this time. I was quite thin back then. What's the worst? What's the worst autograph you guys have?
Are there 2 R's in Larry now?
Hold on, let me go get my book because there's got to be a bad one.
I mean, I threw out a bunch of redacted.
Actually, mine says to Ryan, Larry Zbyszko Hall of Fame 2015. Yeah,
see mine. So the 8x10 that I have calls him the new living legend at the bottom.
Oh,
yeah, he signed that one.
Yeah, he signed this one to Tim.
The new living legend.
That's not a fair question either. Whoever just asked that, because I purposely have some I've got I purposely go out of my way to buy bad ones.
I mean, I'll tell you, my worst autograph experience was when I met Michael Madsen. Because I was debating. I have a Jackrabbit Slims menu that is signed by John Travolta. And then I have a Kill Bill DVD that is signed by Vivica A. Fox and Lucy Liu. So I was debating which one I want.
A candidate for worst autograph that I have.
Yeah, I threw mine out.
Yeah, that's.
I'm just gonna take that one out of the book.
So,
hold on, I can.
Madsen shows up to the convention 2.5 hours late, and he's clearly still drunk. And his handler the whole time is just like, "Oh yeah, he's not feeling well today." And he comes and he's just like, doesn't even take his sunglasses off, and he's just like, you can see him squinting at you. And I held up my Kill Bill DVD and I was like, "Hey, I'm just trying to get all 5 of the killers to sign this." And he's like, "Nowhere to even sign it, man." I was like, "I mean, you can literally sign wherever you want." And he scribbles on the back, the fucking back of the DVD. So when you close it, his signature is on the back of it. And I was like, "You know what? Just give it back. Thank you." And I left.
Man, what a waste.
Worst signing experience.
Yeah.
Here's a good candid shot. Proof that I used to be kind of thinner. It's a Polaroid of me and
look at little Tim.
Michael Hickenbottom.
Michael Sean Hickenbottom and a guy.
There's another bad one.
Oh, that's really bad.
I'm cleaning out. I'm literally cleaning out the book.
That one aged badly.
Yeah.
I'm really bummed. I have boy, that one's in real shit condition. As a child, I got these 3. Thrasher, Mosh, and Draws.
That Draws one might be worth something.
Yeah, I folded it up multiple times as a child. I met him at a water park in New Jersey. Right, I don't go to Jersey beaches. How I ever ended up at the water park on the Jersey Shore, I'll never know.
I have a plain one like that too.
Obviously a terrible. No, this one. This is when from Shawn Michaels actually came to Lidditz.
When did that happen? For the opening of the Hawks?
Yeah, I forget when it was. I was
I have this one that Jim asks to buy off me like every few days.
Dude, he's such a Cameron fan.
That's not true at all.
Here's me and an ex-girlfriend and a very young John Cena.
Juan Cena.
I wore a throwback jersey thinking I was cool to John Cena's.
Did I ever tell you guys about the time AJ Styles stayed at my house?
Was he Big Spoon or Little Spoon?
Obviously, Little Spoon.
Little Spoon.
I got
Opportunity
Moose.
missed.
You can't see he signed it because he signed in a goddamn big pen.
Pen like an asshole. He's
The
like, oh, no,
P's a big fan. I like the
like,
Moose.
I don't.
man.
I
He's
have
funny.
Sharpies. He was like, no, I don't have them. Remember when Dalton Castle came and didn't have any 8x10s?
How
Yeah,
pissed? Yes.
That was goofy as hell. But yeah,
When
obviously,
he was signing Veda Scott 8x10s.
my two worst were a product and a heart. So those are my two worst. They are going.
Mine was a product and Hell's favorite harlot. I threw both of them in the garbage.
Fair.
Oh. You
Um,
guys remember the WWE ring announcer Mel Phillips, the black guy from the 80s?
Didn't he kill somebody?
No, I don't think he killed anybody, but I think he was tied to that inappropriate conduct thing.
Maybe
And,
that's what it was.
Yeah.
They kind of let him go, but I got his autograph after a show. He was very nice. He signed it. He put Mel, and then he put a really big P around the word Mel for Phillips. I still have that somewhere. It's up in the old Hottenstein attic. I'd really have to look for it. That'd be like finding a needle in the haystack.
Tim,
But it's up there.
Does Zabisco good place or bad place?
Oh, Larry Zabisco is 100% a bad placer.
Bad place Hall of Fame?
I wouldn't say bad place Hall of Fame because he was a pretty decent commentator. But he did absolutely bad place Hall of Famer in the ring, good place commentator, so that equals out to like bad place.
He was
half of this one's not good anymore.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's a shame. That was such a great gimmick too.
He was such a good guy until he wasn't.
How that towel is no longer a decoration.
Yes, that.
Studio.
Thanks, Rory.
Well, I'll change gears and put up a good one.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Oh, that's a real good one.
Devin said his worst is Al Snow. Backing up to the Hall of Fame conversation, Scotty said to remove Jim Ross too. For what?
For taking unsolicited dick pictures.
Cowboy hat, blue circle.
I have a Val Venus one from when he was at Legacy. Should probably get rid of that one.
Who was that?
Val Venus.
Oh,
oh yeah, I didn't get.
Oh yeah.
I didn't get
this one doesn't age well.
Oh no, I don't.
No.
I end up getting one. I because
get one when we were there, and I was kicking myself, and now it's probably for the best.
Yeah, there was $10 I'm never gonna get back.
You dodged a bullet there.
Remember, I was super excited to see Zack Sabre Jr. I bought two.
That's right, you did buy two.
I sure did.
I think two.
I mean, his were only $5 anyway, so
Yeah, they were a great price.
I do have a cool piece of memorabilia.
My EC3 one says Ryan 3-count podcast for life.
Mine too.
Yeah,
You're my favorite.
My Nyla Rose one also said something about 3-count, and she gave it to us on the house because she was on the show like 2 days before.
Oh, I have a Flip Gordon one. That one's not great.
That one's covered in brainworms.
Is it flat though? Is it flat?
It is flat. This one is flat.
The
Roll
two
it up and make it round. Got a spike.
the two Maria Maniac ones we have were just made out to the show. They weren't actually made out to me.
I actually have an additional Maria Maniac one made out to the show. Let me see if I can find it.
Was she man-eater?
The man eater.
I have to thank RSP or whatever, the sports collectible one, for giving me this one from the Clash of Titans show.
Oh yeah,
with the Nash and I believe we called that show. I don't remember if that was we could do a whole fucking show of us just showing shit.
We could a little show and tell episode, dude. I got some good stuff. Well, we'll do that. We'll do that some week.
We should do a show and tell. That's fine.
Let's do some.
Oh, there's Hillbilly Jim. He's a Hall of Famer.
Hillbilly Jim.
Scotty just brought this to my attention. Yeah, breaking from WWE. Let's find that one.
Oh, it's Maria Maniac.
You all fucking suck. Oh, that's sweet.
She's such a cutie.
It also says
she's a
"fuck
doll."
you pussies on it as well.
What does it say?
Fuck you, pussies.
Oh. Nice.
Wow.
I mean, she's right, but
Classy. Well, we are. But at
Don't beat
Ryan
me up.
pay-per-view Fastlane,
Meep, meep.
it will be SmackDown Women's Champion Sasha Banks and her WrestleMania challenger Bianca Belair taking on Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles.
Oh, so there it is.
Why?
Ex-
Why do we need that?
That is the
Because we
perfect
gotta
question.
sell tickets, brother.
Yeah, you gotta get those Peacock subscriptions. I still think there's a possibility that Raquel and Dakota get a WrestleMania match, and I mean,
That'd be nice. Big Mammy, cool.
you're gonna have a pay-per-view. You got to fill the card, so
Got to fill it up, folks.
it is what it is. All right, let's go ahead here to our final topic for the night before the news and rumors. This Sunday night on pay-per-view and on BR Live, it is AEW Our Evolution, live from Daly's Place in Jacksonville, Florida. There are 9 matches.
Yep, tall task for me. Yep, it's gonna be great.
Oh yeah, because you have your viewers' choice show right after this one. So
Oh yeah,
The sucker.
and it's the show starts at 8.
yeah, and it's an AEW show, so it's probably going to be over at like 1:30.
And it's a Sunday night.
I know.
Sunday night. So, do we want to start with the match predictions, or do
Man, I wrote them from the bottom to the top. Oh, the match. Oh, yeah, the match
we
predictions.
start with the Paul White, Tony Khan? Why don't we start there? Last night on Dynamite, no more BS. Paul White.
Thank goodness.
What a name. I love it.
He's got the big scoop. Get it? Big scoop. This Sunday
But the big, that's literally BS.
I know, silly, isn't it?
There's no more of it.
Oh.
So yeah, this was the only big scoop you get.
The only one. This Sunday at Revolution, there will be a signing. They'll be signing on the dotted line a new AEW contract. Tony Khan commented on it as well on the AEW Unrestricted podcast. He told the world, and it's true, there's going to be a big star signed with AEW. He's coming here, and it's absolutely true what Paul said. This Sunday, a major star in the world of wrestling, a huge, huge star, is going to come and sign a multi-year contract with AEW on Sunday at the pay-per-view. I can confirm what this direct quote from Tony Khan. I can confirm what Paul said is true, and I'm not talking about the person in the ladder match. We have a great, fun 6th person in the ladder match, but the person who I'm saying is going to come and sign a multi-year contract with AEW, the person Paul referenced, that's not the 6th person in the ladder match. Paul's talking about a big surprise, and that's no joke. What he said to you, I can confirm is true. Who do you guys think is the big surprise for AEW this Sunday?
That's a great question, Jim.
Well, I was thinking because Conrad would have practically everybody he does his podcast with, and Kurt Angle would be my guess.
Okay.
Unless it's Bruce Pritchard jumping, maybe Bruce Pritchard signing.
I would laugh my ass off if it was Bruce Pritchard. Kurt Angle's a good prediction. Tim, thoughts?
I was gonna almost write it in pen that it's Kurt Angle, but I'll pick a different answer. I'm gonna go Christian.
Ooh, okay.
Wasn't one of the things talked about Hall of Fame worthy, correct?
Christian
Which would almost indicate that this person wasn't in
not
the Hall of
in
Fame.
the Hall of Fame.
Not in the Hall of Fame.
I'm just saying. I'm
All
not
right.
fucking
No, you're
saying
right, you're
that
right.
to call you out, Tim.
You're right. You're right.
I'm supporting
Christian
you.
would
No,
be a
I'm
good
backing
option.
you up. That's what I was saying. Is like
Oh.
not in the Hall of Fame.
I'm
so.
sorry I jumped to the angry conclusion.
I'm sorry I jumped to the angry conclusion.
Ryan's
That would
getting
be exciting if it was Christian.
Didn't Christian sign
I
with
don't,
the WWE
I don't
though?
know.
He said he hoped
He
to
thought
continue
that
his career, but he wasn't sure.
And I'm
Ryan,
almost
didn't you
shocked.
think
Like
that-
I'm just thinking. I think Christian would be a big splash. But I can't believe the WWE would let him wrestle on a one-off with like a no compete clause or something like that. Seems like really reckless business from Vince McMahon if that actually happened.
I don't know. I mean, Carlito. I'm not saying it's got to be Carlito, but he doesn't have a.
I suppose.
Bring a guy in for a Rumble. It's a Rumble pop.
Yeah. All right. You got a point.
Get a payday at the Rumble. Make your big return. I don't think there's any. And I mean,
my first thought is because they said Hall of Fame worthy, it was going to be somebody put in under like a WWE name. But they will bring was Mick Foley put in as Mick Foley or was he put in as Mankind?
Mick Foley.
He will. Okay, so that wouldn't be Mick Foley then.
Well, it could be Dude Love.
It could be Dude Love.
Foley's baby boy.
I suppose it could be. I don't know. Kurt Angle makes, I think, the most sense here, but to name somebody different, I will say Dave Bautista because somebody tagged Batista in a tweet. Sorry, Matt. And Batista's like, but I'm retired.
Matt.
That was literally going to be who I picked.
See, as the longer I ramble, the more like random my shit would come. Sorry. Do you want me to give? I'll give somebody else.
No, it's fine.
I have a list of 10 people here because I did my homework.
Did you make your own list of 10 people, or did you go to the website that has 10 people listed?
It was from the comic book website.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Christian, Kurt Angle,
Ethan Page.
Ethan Page is up there, which I don't think is quite large enough. No offense.
But he's all ego. So if it's a play on words, and the Big Show maybe never heard of him, he's like, "Yeah, this guy's great. He's the best there's ever been. He told me all himself about it." And then he shows up and it's Ethan Page.
I expect it to be a fart in the wind. That would, everybody's getting their hopes up already.
Ethan Page is in
the first name that popped in my mind.
I don't think he's signed with Impact anymore, Mark.
Yeah, but Impact, well, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be an Impact guy because of the partnership they have.
That's true. The first name that came to my mind was Mark Henry. I saw Mark Henry, and I know he's already in the Hall of Fame, but I know he said recently that like he plans on wrestling in the next 6 months. He said that on Busted Open. I don't think that's going to happen in the WWE. So that was the first name that came to my mind.
I think he's still really close to WWE though.
I feel like
he's like a big WWE apologist. As much as
I would have thought that Paul White was, a WWE guy.
22 years.
For life, but things change, I guess.
I don't know. It could be Mark Henry. There's another name that's floating around that it could be too.
Like a guy from the Midwest?
Nah, like a guy from like Canada.
That's gotta be.
He relocated to Canada, but he's normally from like the northern parts of the United States near the middle.
Bret Hart.
No.
Waylon Mercy.
Former WWE champion, former Universal champion. The one in 21 and 1.
Lesnar is here. Brock Lesnar is here. Yes, Brock Lesnar is here. Brock Lesnar is here. Yeah, Brock Lesnar is here.
I fucking love this song. I hope Zach gets a kick out of that.
Lesnar is here. Lesnar is here. Accept the daisies. Not contracted to accept the daisies. Not contracted to accept the daisies. Not contracted to accept the daisy isn't here. No, accept the daisies. Not contracted to accept.
So WWE's like making this big push, and like Bobby Lashley's talking about how he wants to face Brock Lesnar.
There's no way that tweet is sent without Brock already being signed.
Yeah,
there's no way Vince McMahon runs that loose.
Yeah, I don't.
No way in hell.
Like,
who knows, man?
No chance in hell.
Oh, I'm gonna put a number on the odds.
Don't do it, Jim. Do not do it here.
You're gonna guarantee it that it's gonna be Brock Lesnar.
0.0.
Brock Lesnar. You heard it here first. Brock Lesnar signed to AEW per Big Jim. 3 count Thursday.
So Jim, what would you do if it was Bret Hart? I mean,
he already unveiled the title.
Barely.
Yeah, and he almost fell down the whole shit, didn't he?
Right. Look. Obviously,
What a
like
shame.
I'm a huge Bret Hart mark, but like it would be
That's
laughable
really heavy.
if AEW makes this big of a deal for it to be Bret Hart.
so you're admitting that Bret Hart is a fart in the wind.
In 2021, sure.
So you're saying Bret Hart is a bigger fart in the wind than Natalia? Literally farting in the wind.
No.
What if it's the Undertaker?
I mean, he did sign a 15-year thing, though, right?
Did he?
Like that's a legit. I feel like that was pretty
the
legit.
report that he had signed, like, hey, but Bret Hart signed a lifetime deal with Vince, and we saw how quickly that went away. Now, Vince,
Bret.
I also don't think that the WWE is in the quote unquote financial peril that they were in 1997 either.
Well, I don't know. Employees didn't get pay raises this year.
That's true. That $1 billion check hasn't cleared. Devin thinks it's going to be RVD.
I think RVD would be cool, but he is not a huge star.
No, and here's
Neither is Pac the way they were building Pac's return.
And that's the thing. And this isn't just me shitting on AEW, but I expect this to be a disappointing debut.
Well,
I don't expect it to be what their and the marketing is great. Like they're building this up to be huge, and whether or not it pays off to more pay-per-view buys or not will remain to be seen. But the marketing on it is fantastic. What do we got there, Tim?
What you got there, Tim?
I got Dino Chicky Nuggies and mashed potatoes.
Ooh.
I'm gonna eat, goddammit.
Thank you, Arnold.
Arnold's a good guy. But I don't expect it to be what people are hyping it to be. And I mean, have fun with it. You know, people are hypothesizing Phil from Chicago and Brock Lesnar and, you know, Dave Bautista. I don't think it's going to be anybody on that level.
Could it be somebody, because they played off the word big, could it be somebody like the Great Khali? And I know he's doing stuff with like NXT India.
I would be
but
shocked.
He's not going to be like an on-screen character.
I hope it's the big guy.
He owns the name Ryback now.
I didn't even think about that. That literally could be Ryback.
It could be Ryback.
Yeah, I didn't think about that
I
either.
expect it to be I fully expected it to be somebody like on that level that is a recognizable face, but it's not anybody that it's going to really move the needle. I just don't.
So, I mean so you would consider Ryback just like small potatoes if he turns out to be.
He just called Ryback a fart in the wind. You heard it here. Again, that's at Big Jim Sports.
Well, he's
calling Ryback a fart in the.
I think I'm already blocked. Am I blocked by Ryback? I know we are unblocked by Ryback, which I don't even.
He probably listens to the show, Jim, and you're just shitting on him. Ryback, I'm sorry. Your supplements are great too. I'm swell as hell now.
I'm curious, like, to you, Jim, what are some names that if they did, you would be like, oh wow, that is a big name. Does it have to be someone on the level of like Brock?
Off the top of my head, I can't necessarily think of any names, but I think if there's people that have just kind of, I mean, I think I would actually be really surprised if it was Christian. Because I mean, he did just come back to the WWE. He had, you know, you had that like nostalgia moment where he and Edge hug, and
so Christian moves the needle for you more than Ryback would.
Recency, yes.
Surprise, yes.
So
like,
just for the surprise factor, not what they can do for the company.
Ryback could do more. I think Ryback could potentially do more for AEW than Christian could. In terms of,
I think in terms of wrestling for a few years, I think
you bumped your head. There's no way. I think
you get a good
Christian,
year out of Christian, and that's
I think you can get 3
years out of Christian.
One night a week.
They do one night a week. Yeah.
Maybe that. Okay.
I mean, Sting's taking bumps over there, so
Well, that's true.
something in the water down in Jacksonville.
Now, not to defend AEW at all, but the last time they did make a play like this, it did come off as being that the big thing that was going to change the world was Pac's return. But Tony Khan has gone on record as to say that it wasn't that one instance, but it's the accumulation of Pac and Sting and the deal with Impact and the deal with NX or with New Japan. All of that.
Sting thing again was huge. I don't care what anybody says. We can joke about Sting being here. That's a huge name.
It is a huge name.
And if you're going to make a big deal out of this, I mean, we shit on Terry Bollea earlier. Would they dare touch Hulk Hogan? Because I feel like that's a huge name in wrestling.
I think Terry has a deal with the WWE though, or do they just work appearance by appearance?
I don't know. Terry's a Florida guy.
He is a Florida guy.
Well, so I also think that the person that they get is someone who can wrestle.
I think so too.
I don't think that they go out of their way to sign somebody who's not in the ring.
Yeah, I would agree with that. If you're doing a multi, because like even Paul White is going to wrestle, even though he's working as a commentator for Elevation or Evolution or whatever. He did screw up Revolution to Evolution last night.
Did he screw it up, or was he foreshadowing Batista?
Ooh, I like how you're thinking, Ryan. I like how you're thinking. But yeah,
maybe it's Scott Hall.
Maybe
because he was only put in as Razor Ramon.
Done.
Scott Hall's not going to wrestle matches though.
That DDP yoga though. Yeah, you're right.
You're right.
Jake Roberts still gets in the ring.
That's true.
Gets in the ring, but he doesn't do anything. Short arm clothesline.
That is also true.
Right. I don't think Roberts is bumping, is he?
No. God, no.
Not on purpose.
But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely curious to see who it's going to be. I don't think it's going to live up to the hype.
So you're already disappointed.
That is being made.
I can't wait to see the tweet from @3Count Thursday the moment this gets, and then Scott is going to go, Jim, was that you? Of course it was.
I actually have it saved in the drafts already on my phone.
I was gonna say, Jim already has the underwhelmed reaction set, no matter who it is.
Hashtag AEW Revolution with like
the yodeling guy going off the edge from The Price is Right.
Yeah. Like the marketing for it has been great. I just don't think it is going to live up to the hype. I really don't. And it's because and it's based on
Jim, again, your short list of who it could be that you were going to be like, okay, was what, Brock Lesnar
and Christian.
If it's just those two,
Matt,
like, is there anybody else that's really like, ooh, that could do it?
Well, I said off the top of my head, I can't necessarily think of anybody that.
But so like if it is Batista, or if it was,
it would be a wow. Punk would be a wow. Taker would be a wow.
I mean, you said Mark Henry. Would you be wowed by Mark Henry?
I a little bit, because I do like what Tim said. I feel like he's kind of a WWE lifer type of guy. So
no, I did read somewhere that he's not on Busted Open on Saturday, so he's not going to be there this weekend to be on air. For what it's worth.
Yeah.
What if it's Mark Henry and D'Lo Brown?
At least it gets D'Lo off commentary. I'll do us all a favor.
That's right. I forgot he's on the Impact.
Oh, Mark.
But like, yeah, I mean, if it's any of the big names that are being brandished about, that would surprise me, because I fully expect it to be no one on that level.
I mean, do we know it's a male superstar? Did they say that?
No.
He also didn't say that. No.
But
what
the
if
only
it's, Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the only one I could really think of. Or like if Trish.
That might be the biggest one possible if it's Ronda Rousey.
Yeah, if it was like a Trish or Lita, that would surprise me.
Why aren't we thinking Japan at all?
Because we are an American wrestling podcast that hosted by Big Jim.
So are you thinking like Okada?
What, Switchblade?
It could be Okada. It could be Switchblade. It could be the Great Muta.
Dude, Okada's huge if it's Okada. Like, that's not...
He's
not a drop in the
huge.
bucket at all.
He's huge to wrestling fans.
Right.
But not like...
But this isn't like a main event or a mainstream media thing that we're trying to... Like, that's what Shaq was for. And they have a working agreement with Japan, so how big is it really if Okada shows up?
Yeah, like that, having someone from like a New Japan wouldn't shock me as much as a former WWE exclusive wrestler, but it would still be big to get.
Okada would be big. I mean, yeah, it wouldn't. I don't think it would surprise me as much because of that agreement, because he's not like a free agent, right? He's still working.
I mean, he hasn't wrestled since Wrestle Kingdom.
If Okada signs with AEW, and that's what it sounds like, it's a signing.
Well, yeah,
that's a huge deal. Sure,
that would actually.
That's a huge deal.
That would surprise me. Not to the level of Batista, Punk, Lesnar, but
boy, I don't know. I'd be shocked if that happens.
Yeah,
like that is shocking. Like, as much as we talk about WWE guys, like Okada's a New Japan guy.
Correct. Yeah, I agree. So yeah, we will
big name.
Obviously we'll have reactions to that next week. Let's go through the matches. We'll start at the bottom. This is on the buy-in tag team match, Riho and Thunder Rosa against Dr. Britt Baker and Reba Rebel.
Britt Baker.
Britt Baker.
Dr. Britt Baker.
I have
That's Maria's sister.
I have the dentist and Reba Rebel as winning the matchup. Tim.
I'm gonna go with Britt Baker, DMD. You know she's a dentist, by the way.
I've heard
that. And Rebel.
Really?
Don't call her Brittany Baker though.
Yeah, she's not Brittany.
Do not. Intern Mark.
I'm gonna go with the dentist and the Rebel.
Very good, Ryan.
I'm gonna go with Riho and Thunder Rosa to be different.
Very good.
I'll be darned.
Matt.
As much as I would like to do that as well, I think it makes more sense for it to be the Rebel and Dr. Britt Baker.
I mean, Thunder Rosa to me should have won the Eliminator tournament, but
yeah.
Reba
McIntyre.
Britt Baker.
Lou Bega.
Devin has Thunder Rosa and Riho.
I want to change my answer then. Oh, Devin, I love
we
you.
go to the Casino Tag Team Royale for a future AEW World Tag Team Championship match. Bear Country, the Dark Order. So yes, there's two Dark Order. It's Alex Reynolds and John Silver. The other one is Evil Uno and Stu Grayson. The Inner Circle, Santana and Ortiz. The Butcher and the Blade, Private Party, Top Flight, Death Triangle, Varsity Blondes, Matt Sydal and Mike Sydal, SCU, The Natural Nightmares, and a team to be announced.
Also, the Chaos Project and the Gun Club.
Okay, sorry, yeah, that wasn't updated when I pulled the list today. I have Alex Reynolds and John Silver of the Dark Order winning this one. Matt.
Yes.
Awesome. Ryan.
I have to be announced, and I believe to be announced will be Dark Order member 10 and -1.
That means 9.
You do the math right. If you symbolize the fraction, it's a 9. Symbolize isn't the fucking word.
None of that.
None of this actually
Are
makes
you
sense
having a
at all.
strunk?
No.
I might be strunken. Clarence
Strunken.
Carter wrote a song about strunken.
Brett, are you okay?
Oh.
But no, I also have Reynolds and John Silver.
Meat Boy.
Mark.
I heard Idaho John Silver.
The Beaver Boys.
I'll go with SCU, even though I think some form of the Dark Order is going to win. I'm still going to go with SCU.
Very good, Tim.
I am going to go with Santana and Ortiz.
Okay. Devin has any of the Dark Order teams.
Well, that's not fair. He picked 2 teams.
Yeah.
You got to pick one, Devin. Come on.
Oh, I'm going to pick. You know what? I'm changing my answer to a tag team in the match.
Ooh, that's a good
Come on, Devin, pick one.
Just do it.
Tag team match. We got Myro.
Is FTR even wrestling on here, or are they the unannounced team?
They could be the unannounced team.
Like realistically, they're not on the card. I don't think.
Say yeah.
Yeah, they're not. So, yeah, they could be the unannounced team. Jason says Shaq and BS. Myro.
That could happen.
Myro.
That Shaq bump was great. Let's not take that away. That's commitment for a big guy. That's commitment.
Look, I had 0 expectations for that match.
Wow.
I thought it was going to be awful. The table bump was great. I thought Shaq's powerbomb tribute to Brody Lee was really cool. I thought the women looked great in that match. It far exceeded the expectations that I didn't have for the matchup. Devin says Silver and whoever that dude.
That is as much as I've ever heard Big Jim put over AEW.
Yeah, really.
I had 0 expectations, and it far exceeded that.
He was -3 in the excitement level, so
It's true, and it far exceeded that. It was much better than a -3. Myro and Kip Sabian with Penelope Ford taking on the best friends of Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor. I fully expect them to continue the horrible booking of Myro. I have Orange Cassidy and Chuck Taylor winning this matchup. Tim.
I'm sorry. I just read some really poopy news. So I'm going to say the best friends.
Okay.
Best friends.
Intern Mark.
I got to go with the best friends as well.
Ryan.
I've not been present for AEW for the past couple. What happened to Trent? Is he not in the best friends anymore? Is he?
He's injured. He's injured.
Is that an injury? Okay. All right. Well, then, yeah, best friends.
And Matt.
Yes, best friends.
Devin has the best friends as well. So clean sweep on that one. I'm gonna.
Tim, do you want to bring us down with your bad news?
Or
is that like off the air bad news?
No, influential promoter and former NWA president Jim Crockett Jr. has passed away.
Oh,
yesterday.
It was yesterday?
I'm fairly certain.
Yesterday's news.
Around midnight-ish.
Yes, I didn't know it. I literally had no idea about it until today. Just now.
I should have written that down. I apologize. Yeah, we should have covered that one.
Nah, it's all good.
Definitely, definitely a sad one.
Oof.
Let's skip over what should be the main event for now. We will get back to it. Then we have the Face of the Revolution ladder match for a future AEW TNT Championship match. Cody Rhodes, Scorpio Sky, Penta El Zero Maiedo, Lance Archer, Max Caster, and Tubi, and I butchered it. I know.
Matt is just shaking his head in disgust.
Isn't that what he does? Like the Cierro Miedo? Is it how it's pronounced?
Sure.
I also don't speak the Espanol.
I do not.
So a little help?
You could have just went with Penta El Cero M.
I could have, but I tried, okay?
No, it does read on the Wikipedia page, which I'm sure is where he pulled it, Penta El Zero Miedo.
That's how it reads.
Which is exactly how it reads.
That's exactly how it reads. Max Caster versus TBA. Who do you guys think TBA will be? Do you have any?
Who do you think Max Caster is?
Couldn't tell you.
He's a member of God, what's the name of that team? Shoot.
Jim's getting the.
It's the John Cena. It's the John Cena kid. It's the team that raps.
Yeah, he was just.
It's not Top Flight. It's the other. It's the other effing team?
Bottom Drive?
No, not Bottom Drive. What's the name of the effing team, dude?
Tag team.
Yeah.
Run DMC.
No, why are
Chris Cross.
No, stop. Now you're being facetious.
They had great hits in I Missed the Bus and Jump.
Naughty by Nature.
What is the name
Digital
of this
Underground.
team? Platinum. It's Platinum Max Caster and
I'm glad somebody watches AEW in this fucking
Acclaimed?
podcast.
The Acclaimed.
The Acclaimed, Jim.
The Acclaimed.
Shoot.
Jim, the quickest Googler.
Everybody knows the Acclaimed.
Yeah, they made the shitty wrestling games for the N64.
Any thoughts on who the to be announced might be for this matchup?
Jim, you haven't made your debut yet.
I hadn't.
You didn't like
Eddie Kingston.
You didn't like any of the Acclaim games for N64?
I think they were all trash. Wrestling games, they were trash.
All of them?
Yes, all of them were trash.
Okay.
Name a good one.
Warzone.
Nope, trash.
That's the only one I
The entrances were cool, but that's it.
The cage matches pissed me off to no end.
Didn't one of them have Goldberg or not Goldberg, Goldust dressed in like the drag costume? I think that's all I can really remember. And I think they did the ECW game then, which was equally garbage.
Hardcore Revolution. I think
Yeah,
was what it was called.
yeah, I'm fairly certain.
They
that was
also
that
the ones that did the TNA game because that was also garbage.
Ooh, that was bad.
I didn't mind the TNA game.
It was rough. I have Cody winning this.
Who do you have as
You
the?
abandoned your initial question, Jim.
Yeah,
I hadn't even given it a thought. Miro. It'll be Miro because he'll get pissed at Kip Sabian after he loses. David Arquette.
Why
hope
not?
it's David Arquette.
Why not?
Exactly.
Nothing would surprise me with AEW.
I think it's gonna be Eddie Kingston as the TBD.
You keep doing the shocker thing. You mean like
It's the Eddie Kingston
shocker?
hand symbol, you dunce.
Oh.
The hand thing.
The
Well,
hand
there was a
thing.
shocker. There was the shocker that wrestled in TNA.
No,
The Mexican
Eddie
luchador,
Kingston.
the shocker.
Eddie Kingston.
I'd love that.
Now I want to look to see how they spell Penta's name on the AEW website.
Who's your prediction to win the match? Is Kingston also your prediction to win, Tim?
Yeah.
Cool. Intern Mark.
I'm gonna go with Cody Rhodes. Is that all right? Is that exciting you?
Ryan.
I didn't hear you say my name. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go with Penta L. Jim's bad Spanish.
To be fair, I did just look at the Wikipedia page, and that's, I mean, Jim, go in and edit that.
It is written right. Penta L Zero Miedo.
His name
Jim's
on
like,
the
this must be a new luchador guy. I don't know.
his
Never heard of him.
name on the AEW website is Penta L0M.
Oh.
They could have just done that, but instead.
Well, it does say L0M on the Wikipedia as well.
See what I have? I see L0 Miedo.
It's both on Wikipedia that I see. Well, whatever. Cody's winning.
Cody's winning. Thank you. Then we have the.
You really think Cody puts himself over in the face of the revolution? Okay, you're right. Yeah, Cody will win this.
Well, no shit.
Big money match. Winner receives the losers 2021 first quarter earnings. Adam Page versus Matt Hardy.
What an awful gimmick.
Right.
Wow. That's the best we could do.
Fuck out of this, please. Please, Adam Page. Matt.
Yes. Pretty please, Adam.
Ryan.
Yes, Adam Page in a paycheck on a pole match.
Intern Mark.
Yep. It's got to be Adam Page. It's got to be.
Tim.
It's got to be Matt Hardy. Are you kidding me? This is Matt Hardy's match to lose. He's going to win this.
I mean, probably. I want it to be Adam Page. I didn't say
There's no way it's going to be Adam Page.
He comes in on a horse. It's going to be Adam Page.
Yeah, and Matt Hardy's going to take the horse. So that way he doesn't have to walk anywhere. He can just ride the horse. And then he has
comes in on a lawnmower.
No, he's gonna ride that horse. His legs are already gonna be splayed well enough that he can get in there. His Jimmy legs will fit right around a horse real nice.
Still haven't watched that video, by the way.
You should.
No, can't be that guy.
By the way, this angle was 100% set up on being the elite.
Yeah, we all knew that.
I don't have 6 hours to devote to watching Being the Elite.
Catching up on some of the predict. Devin had Orange Cassidy and Chuck, Scorpio Sky. Jason says to be announced in the previous match will be Charles Barkley. Devin has Adam Page winning this one.
Terrible.
Then we go to the singles match.
Is that the red Scorpio Sky, or is that a different? It's a different guy.
He raked my back. Yeah, now he didn't.
I did see my red Scorpion 8x10 as I was going.
I saw mine as well as I was ripping through.
I don't have one of them. I'm sorry, red Scorpion.
Wow. Let me see. Alert, red Scorpion.
That's my B.
We have the singles match for the AEW Women's World Championship. Hikaru Shida versus Ryo, and I'm not even trying to pronounce her name.
Give it a shot.
Mizunami? Close
Tim's
enough?
nodding. Tim's nodding.
Ryo Mizunami. Yes.
Good. Whew.
Ryo Mizunami.
Mizunami.
I have Shida winning. Tim.
I have Ryu Mizunami.
Intern Mark.
Shear's going to win her.
Ryan.
I think that Hikaru Shida will weather the tsunami that is coming.
Mute him.
I'll do it myself.
Thank you. Matt.
Peter.
Cheater. Devin has
Myself.
Cheater.
I earned that one
as well. Then we go to the street fight. Team Taz, Brian Cage, and Ricky Starks with Taz taking on Darby Allin and Sting. I have Darby and Sting. Sure. Matt.
Yeah, why not? I hope Sting comes out on a skateboard.
Oh my God, that would be awesome. Ryan.
I hope Sting comes out on a scooter, as in a wrestling scooter.
Oh.
All right.
Yeah, that's how he gets from the parking lot to his locker room.
The guy who cripples himself with a freaking turnbuckle spot is going to wrestle in a street fight believably. Get out of here. That said,
that was
they're
all
definitely
Seth
going
Rollins'
over.
fault, for the record.
Oh, now it's Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins is a dangerous wrestler.
Thank you.
Dangerous.
Let's move on.
Intern Mark.
It's got to be Sting and Darby Allin. Her.
Stern.
Stern. Her.
Tim.
I'm going Team Taz here.
You just like to be different.
No, I'm picking the right answers because none of y'all watch AEW.
Her.
You
I
do.
watch.
I do.
Look,
I
Tim's
watched
got a shirt
AEW.
on.
It's crooked. You bought a grab bag and they just grabbed that one. It was like, all right, here you go.
A botched shirt because it's AEW. Devin has Darby and Sting. Lou says he takes 4 months off and he comes back and I'm wearing an AEW shirt. Lou's all confused.
Poor Lou.
I like your shirt, Tim.
Thank you.
I echo those sentiments a lot.
Yeah, this is the Tyler Breeze shirt from when he came back at NXT.
Oh, whatever happened to that poor guy?
I know, right? Now he's busy playing video games with Austin Creed every Thursday.
Jason says Stung and Derby.
Well, he's kind of there.
Tag team match with AEW World Tag Team Championships. The Young Bucks versus the Inner Circle of Chris Jericho and MJF. I have the COVID God and Maxwell becoming the new AEW World Tag Team Champions. Tim.
I got the sweet life of Max and Chris.
Intern Mark.
Yeah, I got to go with Max and Chris.
You fathead.
That's not
Ryan.
nice.
I guess I'll be the different one and say the Bucks of Youth.
Shut your ass.
Matt.
Not even nice.
I was literally going to say the Bucks of Youth and everything.
Are you? I'm so sorry.
Stealing my thunder tonight. So I will go with MJF and Jericho.
Very good.
Oh,
Devin has Jericho and MJF. And
Say that one again for us.
oh.
Can you get the one of him saying the hand thing?
I should, you know what? I'll have to try and remember what episode that was. It's easy because it was when the Gallows and Anderson debuted, but hand.
Mark, what are you fighting with just off camera?
Yeah.
This is there's a wild animal here that decided to join me.
Is that Kirby the
That's
magnificent?
not nice to say about your son.
Well, he's wild too. He's a wild animal.
It's his birthday today, right?
Stupid.
No, that was just a few weeks ago.
Oh, well, happy birthday anyway.
The 15th.
Tell him
Well,
the
he-
Smokey guy said that.
Smokey. Yeah, I'm telling you, both my kids didn't know your name was Ryan. They confirmed that again the other day.
Unreal.
They
And literally,
thought
I've
your
eaten with both of your kids before too. Like I thought we were friends.
They thought your God-given name was Smokey.
You know, Smokey Robinson, Smokey Ryan. It's all great. It's all the same.
Mrs. Miller, you have a beautiful baby boy. What are we gonna call him?
Smokey. We're gonna call him
Only you.
Smokey.
Unbelievable.
His name's Smokey.
His name's
right.
Smokey. I like Smokey.
He will prevent forest fires.
Hey, can you wish people a happy Chinooka next year?
Chinooka. I don't know what Chinooka is. Chinooka.
Chinooka.
Look, here he is. He's magnificent.
That dog is magnificent AF.
Oh, what a
Look at him.
beast.
When you first brought him up on the screen, I thought you might have somehow stolen Puxatawny Phil.
How old is Kirby?
He's 13. He's a teenager.
Oh
He's
man.
a teenager.
All
He's
right.
gonna tap out.
Let's go to this one. The exploding barbed wire death match for the AEW World Championship. Kenny Omega, of course, with Don Callis defending against John Moxley. I have Omega retaining. I think a match like this, there's just far too much potential for others to get involved. So Moxley's a little bit outnumbered. Tim.
I'm gonna go with Kenny Omega on this one.
In turn, Mark.
I gotta go with Kenny Omega as well on this one.
Ryan.
Yeah, I really thought building up to this, they would have really hit home like John's past in like CZW and wrestling in like tournaments of death, or at tournament. I don't even know if he was ever in the tournament, but wrestled at Tournament of Death. And I don't think they did that very well. I like that they included Onita on the packages, which was
cool.
really, really cool. So nice nod to FMW. But I don't know. I wrote down Moxley. I don't know. I don't love it. I'm gonna write down Moxley, and we see Renee Young. That's gonna be my bonus.
Okay.
He might be the big surprise or the big signing.
Possibly.
That would leave Jim underwhelmed.
Yes. Matt.
Yeah, I think it makes sense to have it be Moxley with everything going into this.
Fair. Devin has Omega, and Jason says hopefully they both explode. This is a trash match.
I mean, not a big deathmatch guy. Cool. I'm really curious how like a big player is gonna do a death match, because like what death matches can look like thanks to various death matches companies around.
And I mean, you're using
formerly CZW,
floating and barbed wire.
CZW, IWA Mid-South. There's plenty of places that do death matches. Not many places do the exploding barbed wire gimmick, but if you're going to call it a death match, it probably should be pretty violent, right?
One would hope.
Luckily for them, John loves this stuff. Kenny is so a mark for Japan that it's gonna go over well. And the one underrated piece that they have is, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but Luther. Dr. Luther is a Japanese deathmatch wrestling god.
Yeah.
So if there's anyone on the roster who would know what to do and make it like right.
I mean, there's people in the state. I know Tremont. I don't even know if you could reference him in doing it. I know they had some exploding bats and stuff. I don't know if they ever did full blown barbed wire ropes, but I know they used.
I don't think that they're doing
props.
barbed wire ropes.
Oh, okay. See, I assumed like the barbed wire. Ba ba ba.
Yeah. So when they said it, it made people think that it was barbed wire, no rope barbed wire. I think it's barbed wire wrapped ropes.
Yeah, I think they may have said that this week or last week. I think it's barbed wire wrapped ropes,
which is horrible. But
see, like when I think that, I think like those old Japanese death matches from like the 80s.
Yeah, FMW.
Just right, FMW. That's what I think. Right, that's where my mind goes.
Jason says it's going to be Tony Khan throwing this little snap bangs at them throughout the match.
But he's gonna have a bunch of them because he's rich.
That's true. Just
you see those like prank videos where like shitty kids put them on tape and then put them on their parents' car, like on their tires, so when they back up, it pops real loud.
Dickheads.
Yes.
Luce's Paul White is obviously the big signing and it's his first heel turn of his AEW career. No, I mean, like, here's the deal. I'm not a deathmatch guy. I am curious to see how far they go with this. And another reason I think Omega wins is if you lose a exploding barbed wire death match, I think that's a good excuse to go away while your wife's not long from giving birth. So I think this is an excuse to get Moxley off TV for a while.
That's a fair point.
You know, get him.
I actually assumed they had her baby by now. I didn't know.
They have not.
I think she's 6 months now.
Yeah, so you know.
Okay, so that's a little early.
Give him a break. You know, we're what 6 months from 6.5, 7 months from All Out. Moxley comes back around All Out time.
That's a good call, Jim.
You know, I think
I'd like to officially change my my prediction.
Nope.
To Kenny Omega.
It's already set. It's already
really.
Yeah, it's already locked in.
Good to know.
It's okay. You'll beat him on the scorecard.
That's true. That is true. Watch, this will be the one. You know, an AEW one is the one where I actually do really well in.
Mark, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to print out a scorecard and give it to your loving daughter. She would have no clue what any of this stuff is. Have her fill it out and let her know she will beat Jim.
In fact, please do. I want to see.
I guarantee she can pick from color. I don't care what it says.
Here's the thing. I don't want to know. I don't want to guess if she'll beat me or not. I want to know how much she's going to beat me by.
22.
I can do that.
As long as she doesn't pick Penta L Zero Miedo, she'll be fine.
Am I gonna have to pull that clip just to make myself feel like a jackass?
Nope, sure don't.
I'm an idiot. All right, let's go to the news and rumors. Unless you have any other thoughts with AEW, and we'll get out of here. All right.
It'll be better than Fastlane.
Former guest of the show, Chelsea Green, appears to be hanging around in WWE. The SmackDown star has reportedly re-signed with the WWE through 2023. New deal with the company, even though she's been sidelined with a wrist injury for the past few months. Her contract was set to expire this summer. IWGP championships are being unified. New Japan Pro Wrestling confirmed on Sunday night that it's officially merging the IWGP Intercontinental Championship with its top title, the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. The decision came at the insistence of reigning double champion Kota Ibushi, who won both championships from Naito at Wrestle Kingdom in January. New Japan's IC title was first introduced back in 2011, was eventually pushed as the 1B title to the heavyweights 1A. A new championship The IWGP World Heavyweight Championship will be awarded to Ibushi on April 4th. He'll defend both titles one more time on March 4th. And then finally, WrestleMania tickets. WWE will reportedly put WrestleMania 37 tickets on sale next week. It was reported by Fightful Select that the plan is for ticket sales to begin sometime next week. There's a test event scheduled for this Friday to work out any kinks in the ticketing sales system. WWE superstars were reportedly told weeks ago that comp tickets for friends and family would either be severely limited or eliminated altogether due to the COVID protocols. WrestleMania, of course, is scheduled for Saturday, April the 10th and Sunday, April the 11th from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Jason asked, was Tully Blanchard's shirt on Dynamite older than he is?
No, but it was so tight I thought it snapped underneath his legs.
What did he ever wrestle in a collared shirt before, Tim?
Maybe in like a fight.
Okay, I mean, doesn't surprise me that a 70-year-old man was wrestling with the shirt on. I
think his gear was inspired by like J.J. Dillon's old gear when he wrestled in. I have to go back and watch those like first War Games matches, but I bet you it's pretty close to inspired by that. Because I think he wore like a tracksuit-esque looking thing. So
gotcha. Got it. Gotcha. I didn't necessarily get any of the reference there.
He may have borrowed that from JJ.
May have. All right. Anybody got anything else? Or are we going to close this thing out? Close it out. Ryan, we'll start with you.
Why? I don't. Oh, good idea. Yes, good idea. I don't have anything.
Put you on last.
Right. I co-host a podcast on Wednesdays called Whiz With. Follow me, Not the Tool Man, on all platforms. Snapchat if you care. Something. Go to Roots Mark.
Intern Mark.
Oh boy, I don't know if I have anything. Hey, you know what? I'm ready for next week. Let's talk about ice cream.
Yes. Matt, what do you got?
Yep, make sure you are following the 3 Count Thursday Instagram page. It is at 3 Count Thursday. Our woman of the week this week is Rachel Rose. Give her a follow. She's getting a lot of likes, so apparently you guys are enjoying this week's feature. But tune in every week as we feature a new woman on the independent wrestling scene. 1 like equals 1 vote towards the Woman of the Year status. Aside from this show, you can hear me on Wednesdays at the Whiz Wit podcast. We talk all things Philly sports, so tune in on Wednesdays at 7:30 for now. We'll be moving to a little later bit of time in the coming weeks. And follow Ryan on Twitter. It's at RYN Eagle. If you care, he's still kind of tweeting about politics. I don't know. I don't follow him, but you should.
Tim, what do you got?
I'm Not the Tool Man across all platforms: Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. If you care. If you are interested in more wrestling stuff, I do not 1 but 2 podcasts. One, Final Wrestling Place, where we take the nouns of professional wrestling and give them arbitrary red points and green points, either put them in the good place or the bad place. Last episode, we did Vincent Kennedy McMahon. This week, we start Mania Madness. The top 8 and bottom 8 celebrities of WrestleMania are put in 2 tournaments. Only one can enter the respective Good Place and Bad Place Hall of Fame. Can't wait to break down the bracketology this week. Also, Viewer's Choice, where we cover live react to every AEW, NXT, and WWE pay-per-view. So I'm doing Revolution this Sunday with Marcus, who's my co-host for Final Wrestling Place as well. Follow those on social media at Final Place Pod and at VC on North South.
All right, and you can follow me at Big Jim Sports, but really the big thing is follow the show at 3 Count Thursday, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Go to 3countthursday.com. Subscribe to the show on all podcast platforms. Rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. Make sure you check out our merchandise over at whatamaneuver.net. Our collar and elbow brand deal, 10% off at with promo code 3count at store.collarandelbowbrand.com. Our home network, of course, and GSC Sports at ngscsports.com. And until next week, guys, stay safe, stay smart, go for the pin, and please keep wearing your damn mask. Please. We're getting so close. Fuck you, Texas. Fuck you, Mississippi. For the love of God, please still wear your mask. Until next week, have a good one. Take care. Recount Thursday is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website arenaeats.app. That's arenaeats.app for the ultimate fan experience. At your favorite sports venue, Arena Eats mobile app, pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order?